Many people looked at her and immediately turned away. Some made cruel comments. Others laughed at the appearance of that tiny dog with patches of missing fur, teeth always showing, and eyes that could never fully close. To many, she looked too strange to be loved. But what nobody realized was that behind that unusual appearance was one of the sweetest and most affectionate dogs anyone could ever meet. And that is exactly what changed Nina's life forever. Her story began in a forest in Puerto Rico. Alone, frightened, and vulnerable, Nina wandered through the woods without understanding what was happening around her. The intense heat, the lack of food, and the constant fear became part of the routine of a little dog who had already learned far too early how difficult life could be. But in the middle of all that hardship, someone decided to look beyond her appearance. Evolved in Animal Rescue found Nina and immediately saw something special. While many people would probably have ignored that unusual-looking dog, he saw a life worth saving. Little by little, he cared for her, giving her food, shelter, and protection until she was finally healthy enough to travel. That was when Nina's story crossed paths with Emily and Sean, a couple from New York who had years of experience rescuing animals. The moment they heard about the tiny dog with the unusual appearance, they felt they had to help her. Even without knowing exactly what the future would bring, they opened their hearts and gave Nina a chance. Their first meeting happened at LaGuardia Airport. Emily and Sean were excited and emotional about finally meeting the dog who had traveled so far to find a new life. But the reunion was not exactly warm and loving at first. Nina was terrified. She growled nonstop, suspicious of everything and everyone around her. After everything she had been through, trusting humans again felt impossible. To many people, that reaction might have seemed like rejection. But Emily and Sean immediately understood what was happening. They knew Nina was not aggressive. She was simply trying to protect herself. People who work in animal rescue often talk about something called the Rule of Three. It is a common guideline used by shelters and rescue organizations. The first 3 days are usually the hardest for a rescued dog. The animal is still overwhelmed, confused, and trying to understand where they are and whether they are truly safe. Some dogs hide. Others sleep constantly. Some may even appear defensive or fearful. Then come the first 3 weeks, when the dog slowly begins to learn the routine of the home, understanding feeding times, walks, and moments of rest. And only after around 3 months do many rescue dogs finally begin to feel completely safe and truly at home. But Nina surprised everyone. That very same night, while Emily and Sean were resting in a hotel after the long trip, something unexpected happened. Around 3 in the morning, Nina quietly approached the bed. Emily woke up and saw the little dog standing near her feet with that unusual smile on her face. It felt as if Nina was silently saying, "I think I can trust you." The moment lasted only seconds before Nina quickly backed away again. But for Emily and Sean, that tiny gesture meant everything. It was the beginning of a bond that would continue to grow stronger every single day. And the more time they spent with Nina, the more they realized she was even more extraordinary than they had imagined. Her appearance attracted attention everywhere she went. Some people compared her to creatures from movies or strange mythical animals. Sean even joked that Nina looked like a chupacabra. But the truth behind her appearance was far more complex. A genetic test revealed that Nina was what experts call a super mutt. Her DNA included traces of Doberman, Collie, Chihuahua, Pit Bull, Poodle, Pomeranian, Labrador Retriever, and even German Shepherd. A truly rare combination. Specialists believe Nina was born with an unusual congenital condition linked to genetics. Her case became so unique that researchers at Cornell University began studying her condition in hopes of understanding it better. Every 6 months, Nina undergoes blood tests that help contribute to the research. Even though she is healthy and full of energy, she still requires special care. Her eyes, for example, never fully close. Because of that, Emily applies artificial tears several times a day to keep them hydrated and protected. Nina also had to undergo surgery to correct eyelashes that were growing inward toward her eyes, causing painful irritation and small ulcers. But none of those challenges ever took away her happiness. In fact, they seemed to make her spirit shine even brighter. Anyone who spends time around Nina quickly realizes that her personality is far bigger than her appearance. She is loving, playful, gentle, and incredibly sweet. Emily says that other dogs seem to understand that Nina is different. Many of them treat her with unusual tenderness, constantly licking her face and staying close to her, almost as if they instinctively want to protect her. And perhaps that is one of the most emotional parts of this entire story. While many humans judged Nina because of the way she looked, other animals accepted her exactly as she was, without prejudice, without cruelty, without judgment, only love. Sadly, hurtful comments still happen. Some people see Nina and make jokes or say cruel things about her appearance. Emily admits that those moments still hurt deeply, because to her, Nina is perfect. And maybe that is exactly what makes Nina's story so powerful. For a long time, she was labeled as ugly by people who could not see beyond her appearance. But all it took was someone willing to look at her with compassion to discover an extraordinary dog filled with love, courage, and joy. Today, Nina lives surrounded by care, safety, and affection. She has a family who loves her exactly the way she is. She sleeps peacefully, receives constant attention, and finally understands what it feels like to belong. Her story also reminds people of something important about rescue animals. Many of them carry physical scars, emotional trauma, and fears caused by abandonment or neglect. Some need more time to trust. Others require lifelong care, but none of that reduces their value. In fact, those are often the animals who surprise people the most with their ability to love. Dogs do not care about appearance, money, or perfection. They build bonds through affection, trust, and loyalty. And Nina seems to represent that truth in the most beautiful way possible. A little dog judged by the outside world, but loved deeply by the people who chose to see the beauty inside her heart. Today, the unusual smile that once caused people to stare has become the symbol of a dog loved by thousands. And perhaps the most beautiful part of all is this. Nina never needed to change who she was to deserve love. She simply found the right people. Do you believe that the most unique rescue animals often become the most unforgettable companions? Subscribe to the channel and keep following real-life news and heartwarming stories.